Hi, it's Lisan. So in this video, I'd like to talk about label-free vegans versus high-carb vegans. So I would say that I'm a high-carb vegan. Um, I don't know how you can really be label-free as a vegan because vegan is already a label and by default you're high-carb just because if you want to enjoy your vegan lifestyle, most of the foods that vegans eat are high in carbs. All whole plant foods have carbs in them, so it's not really something that you can avoid unless your diet is full of nuts, seeds, avocados, and oils. And I can't imagine that that would be the most fun way to eat. So I like to eat lots of fruits and starches and other whole plant foods. And I like sugar as well. I like adding sugar to smoothies if it's not sweet enough, or sugar to my oats, and maybe not even just sugar, but it could be molasses or maple syrup. So I do like sweet things as well, but I don't necessarily avoid fat. I do eat some overt fats on occasion, like nuts and seeds. I might put flax meal in my smoothie, or I might eat half an avocado on pizza. So I don't avoid fats altogether, and I don't think it's a problem to limit them or to even eat a little bit more of them, especially if you're really active and losing weight quickly. It helps to keep the weight on, and it does help with expanding your vegan diet, so you get more variety in your diet as well. So I don't have a problem with people eating more fat if they want to, but what I found with my husband, who I would say is a label-free vegan, is that he lost some weight when he went full vegan and just totally cut out the animal products. So that in itself is already great because you're already cutting out a lot of unhealthy food just by cutting out the animal products. So you'll lose weight that way, and you'll be a lot healthier as a vegan who eats some junk food as opposed to a meat eater who also eats some junk food. So label-free vegans are doing a great thing for their health as well as for the environment and the animals. So I have no problem with label-free vegans, and my husband is one, and I wouldn't put down anyone's lifestyle if it's vegan and they're supporting vegan products. For best health, I would say that you should limit the junk food and try to fill up on the fruits and starches because you'll feel your best that way. And a large majority of your diet should be whole plant foods, and that's what I would promote on my channel. And I try to promote the same thing as the plant-based doctors do, like Dr. Esselstyn, Dr. Neil Barnard, who reverses diabetes. So there's two doctors that reverse the leading causes of death in the Western world, recommend that we eat low fat. And also Dr. Greger. So even Dr. Greger, even though he says that nuts are healthy and seeds are healthy, he's not recommending people to eat loads and loads of them, and he's not recommending anything more than a few servings a day if you're going to have it. So I don't think anyone really needs to go overboard with the fat intake, but if you like eating a lot of fat and you have no problem with your weight and you're able to eat as much as you want and be satisfied and have energy, then go for it, and you're probably still high carb vegan. The other thing that I wanted to say is that you'll probably feel better long term if you're high carb vegan. So it doesn't matter really if you're fully raw or raw till 4 or starch solution. For myself, I'm in between raw till 4 and starch solution, and I still eat beans on occasion, maybe tofu, but I tend to have fruit for breakfast and then a starch-based lunch and dinner, and I snack occasionally. I'll have overt fats occasionally. I'll have junk food occasionally, but I do feel my best eating whole plant foods and keeping the fat intake low. And I found that my weight has not really fluctuated that much ever since I've been high carb vegan for just over 2 years. So during the first year, I was still actually a little bit heavier. So I was never fat, but I did carry extra weight on my belly, and I was eating high raw. I was eating fully raw some days, and I was eating raw till 4 most of the time. But I also had just come off the pill, so I was holding on to weight and it wasn't coming off, but it came off eventually, and since then I've been really slim, almost effortlessly. I don't exercise all that much, and I know I should just for my health, and I will, and I'm getting a bike later this year. But I just feel my best eating low fat, and it allows me to eat as much carbs as I want and not be afraid that I'm going to put on heaps of weight. I find it really hard to put on weight eating a lot of carbs, and I think the key to that is that I'm keeping my fat intake pretty low, and keeping my fat intake low hasn't affected my hormones in a bad way. So I know that there's some people who say that you need to eat more fat to have healthy hormones, but I'm fine. I have been getting my period regularly every month, and it's usually quite light, and there's been a few times that I had period pain, but it wasn't too bad, and normally just like a hot water bottle will help and I'll be done with that within a day. So yeah, I feel good eating low fat, and I think that if people are eating a lot of junk foods and eating like cheese on toast for breakfast, even if it's vegan, you're not going to feel your best long term. And sure, you might attract people to your lifestyle because the food that you're making looks maybe really tasty, or it might just show people that there's those options. But I think it's better to advocate a very healthy lifestyle and be an example yourself. So those are my thoughts. I think it's good to just be an example, and people know that they can always turn to the vegan junk food if they want to. But to be sustainable, to be a good example with your health, to feel your best, it's better to just eat high carb vegan and base your diet on fruits and starches, and don't worry about getting fat on raw till 4 or fully raw or starch solution. Long term, if you're active and if you're just eating until you're full, you'll be fine. So those are my thoughts on label-free vegans and high-carb vegans. Yeah, I really have no problem with either of them. I just think that it's better to promote the healthier diet, and people can always do the unhealthy thing if they want. But if they have a foundation and if you're giving some good health advice, then people can make their own decision with how far they want to go with their health. But of course, the important thing is that you're vegan, you're not harming the animals, or at least you're not harming them as much if you're a vegan. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts and see you in my next video. Bye!